Good evening. The palace maintains that the International Criminal Court retains jurisdiction over the crimes committed before 2019 under former President Rodrigo Duterte's drug war. In a briefing, Presidential Communications Office Undersecretary Claire Castro was asked if the palace shared the view that the International Criminal Court had jurisdiction over the killings that occurred before its withdrawal from the Rome Statute in 2019.
Una, ang sinabi kasi ng Pangulo is walang jurisdiction ngayon. Ngayon. Totoo naman po walang jurisdiction ng ICC. Ngayon. Pero kung pagbabasihan po natin ang sinabi ng Supreme Court sa kanila naging decision, although it's an obiter dictum, but still, pronouncement pa rin ng Supreme Court na lahat po na nangyari na krimen, nasakop po ng ICC at ayon din po sa Rome Statute na naganap prior to the withdrawal from the Rome Statute, meron pong jurisdiction ang ICC.
Castro was referring to a decision by the High Court in 2021 penned by Senior Associate Justice Marvic Leonin, which reminded the Philippine government that withdrawing from the Rome Statute does not discharge a state party from the obligations it has incurred as a member. The period covered by the ICC against the former president was from when he was still mayor of Davao until 2019. It was in 2011 when the Philippines ratified the Rome Statute and became a member of the ICC. It was only in March 2019 when the Philippines left the Rome Statute under the Duterte regime. The International Criminal Court currently has custody of the former president after he was arrested and sent to The Hague for crimes against humanity he allegedly committed during his administration's war against drugs. The palace says Solicitor General Menardo Guevarra may need to reassess his suitability for his position after recusing himself from defending the government in former President Rodrigo Duterte's arrest by the International Criminal Court. In a briefing on Tuesday, March 18, Presidential Communications Office Undersecretary Claire Castro was asked if there is a possibility that Guevarra might be replaced because of his recusal in representing the government against the consolidated habeas corpus cases filed by Duterte's children before the Supreme Court. Castro responds,
Wala pa po napag-uusapan dyan dahil napakabago po talaga nito. Lumabas lang po yata ito kagabi. Pero siguro po mas maganda po kung mismo si SolGen ang mag-assess sa sarili niya kung siya pa po ba ay nararapat na tumayo bilang Solicitor General.
Castro also questions why Guevarra's recusal is being seen as a win on the part of Duterte's camp, as both the Solicitor General and President Bongbong Marcos share the same sentiment that the country is not part of the International Criminal Court's jurisdiction. Castro clarifies that Guevarra, in his manifestation to the Supreme Court, never explicitly stated that the country's cooperation with the International Criminal Police Organization was wrong.
Maliwanag po kung inyong nabasa ang manifestation po ni SolGen, Menardo Guevarra. Binanggit lamang po niya na siya po ay naniniwala na walang jurisdiksyon ang ICC sa Pilipinas. Yan din naman po ang tinura noon pa ng Pangulo. Pero hindi po niya nabanggit kailanman sa kanya manifestation na mali ang pakikipagtulungan ng gobyerno sa Interpol. Kung hindi po niya kakayanin ipagtanggol ang gobyerno, ang mga opisyal po ng gobyerno na tumugon sa Interpol, siguro sa kanya pong damdamin lamang po yun.
Castro reiterates that the government merely complied with its commitments with the International Criminal Police Organization, which enforced the arrest warrant against Duterte issued by the International Criminal Court. Meanwhile, in a message to reporters, Guevarra says only President Marcos can decide if he will remain as the head of the Office of the Solicitor General. Guevarra, who also served as Duterte's Justice Secretary, submitted on Monday a manifestation before the High Court recusing himself from the habeas corpus cases for the former president. In his manifestation, he reiterated his stance that the International Criminal Court is prohibited from exercising jurisdiction over the country. The International Criminal Court currently has custody of Duterte after he was arrested and sent to The Hague for crimes against humanity he allegedly committed during his administration's war against drugs. Solicitor General Menardo Guevarra says it is up to President Bongbong Marcos if he will remain as head of the Office of the Solicitor General. Presidential Communications Office Undersecretary Claire Castro on Tuesday, March 18, says that Guevarra may need to reassess his suitability for his position as Solicitor General. Castro's statement comes after Guevarra recused himself in representing government agencies against the consolidated writ of habeas corpus cases filed by Duterte's children before the Supreme Court. In a message to reporters on Tuesday, Guevarra says the Office of the Solicitor General is not only the government's counsel. He adds that the office is also the tribune of the people and that the president fully understands the office's role. When asked if he will remain as the head of the Office of the Solicitor General, Guevarra says only President Marcos can decide on the matter. Guevarra, who also served as Duterte's Justice Secretary, submitted on Monday a manifestation before the High Court, recusing himself from the habeas corpus cases for the former president. Duterte was arrested on March 11 and was then brought on March 12 to The Hague, Netherlands, where the headquarters of the International Criminal Court is located. He is facing charges on his alleged crimes against humanity during his administration's war against drugs. The Supreme Court is ordering the children of former President Rodrigo Duterte to file a response to the comments submitted by the government on the petition for habeas corpus they filed. Last week, 3 of Duterte's children filed petitions for habeas corpus, which were then consolidated by the Supreme Court to challenge the arrest and seek the return of their father from The Hague, Netherlands. Supreme Court spokesperson Camille Ting says the Supreme Court directed Davao City Mayor Sebastian Duterte, Veronica Kitty Duterte, and Davao City Representative Paulo Duterte to personally file a traverse within a non-extendable period of 5 days from receipt of notice. According to T, when a court asks a party to comment or respond, it does not mean that it either granted or denied the petition. Ting says the Supreme Court made the order after it received the consolidated compliance by the government filed by Department of Justice Officer in Charge Undersecretary Nicholas T. T was authorized to represent the respondents in the case following the recusal of the Office of the Solicitor General. The former president is currently under the jurisdiction of the ICC in The Hague, Netherlands. He is facing charges on his alleged crimes against humanity committed during his administration's war on drugs. Former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque likely left the Philippines undetected using the same route as Alice Guo, according to the Bureau of Immigration. During the Senate Subcommittee on Justice and Human Rights hearing, Bureau of Immigration Commissioner Joel Anthony Viado discloses that Roque, similar to Guo, likely exited the country through Tawi-Tawi.
Former presidential spokesperson Attorney Harry Roque, who was sighted in Tawi-Tawi at around 9:30 a.m. on September 4, 2024. Attorney Roque arrived in the United Arab Emirates as confirmed by the Philippine ambassador to the UAE. Since Mr. Roque has no recorded departure in the BI's records, he likely took the same route as Alice Guo in leaving the country by using a backdoor exit in Tawi-Tawi.
According to Viado, any powerful individual backed by Philippine offshore gaming operators or have access to funding and resources, such as the Pogos, can easily sneak out of the country's borders and enter other neighboring countries. Viado explains that Pogos have numerous unofficial reports of exit to choose from in order to get away or hide their bosses or their criminal accomplices. Viado says it is difficult for the Bureau to exactly pinpoint the exact sea or airport that the Pogos used to allow Guo or Roque to escape from. Last March 4, National Intelligence Coordinating Agency Director Ferlu Silvio disclosed that Alice and her siblings Sheila and Wesley were believed to have used the Tawi-Tawi backdoor to escape Philippine jurisdiction undetected. According to Silvio, their agency was also able to monitor Roque's travel from Zamboanga to Tawi-Tawi on September 2, 2024. Silvio said that no other information came out after Roque landed in Tawi-Tawi. Roque is in the Netherlands at present, where he is acting as a member of former President Rodrigo Duterte's legal team for his crimes against humanity case before the International Criminal Court. The former presidential spokesperson is implicated in a qualified human trafficking case against Cassandra Leong and several others concerning the alleged illegal activities of the Pogo Hub Lucky South 99 Corporation. Roque has an outstanding arrest order from the House of Representatives after being cited for contempt and ordered detained due to his failure to submit documents that would justify the alleged sudden increase in his wealth. The palace says former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque's plan to seek asylum in the Netherlands won't affect his cases in the country. Roque previously announced that he will seek political asylum in the Netherlands, which would grant him the right to non-deportation. Roque is currently in The Hague, Netherlands, to stand as one of former President Rodrigo Duterte's legal counsel in the International Criminal Court proceedings. In a briefing on Tuesday, March 18, Presidential Communications Office Undersecretary Claire Castro says Roque's filing of asylum won't affect any of his pending cases in the country.
Hindi naman ito makakaapekto. Unang-una po, magpapile pa lang po yata siya ng petition at hindi pa naman po ito nag-grant. Tandaan po natin, bago po ito mag-grant, dapat mapalabas niya po na may well-founded fear of political persecution.
According to Castro, Roque cannot prove political persecution based on the evidence gathered by the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Task Force against him, specifically on his alleged involvement in the operations of suspected illegal Philippine offshore gaming operator Lucky South 99 in Porac, Pampanga. When asked if the country aims to work with the International Criminal Police Organization in bringing Roque home, Castro responds in the negative. Castro explains that this may change once a warrant of arrest against Roque is issued by a Philippine court. Prior to this appearance in the Netherlands, Roque has been hiding amid an arrest order from the House of Representatives Quad Committee after being cited for contempt and ordered to be detained due to his failure to submit documents that would supposedly justify his sudden increased wealth. The House of Representatives will summon the Department of Foreign Affairs and the Bureau of Immigration to clarify the circumstances of former presidential spokesperson Harry Roque's travels. According to Abang Lingkod Party List Representative Joseph Stephen Paduano, the House's Quad Committee, which investigated Roque's alleged ties to Philippine offshore gaming operators in Central Luzon, will also consult the DFA on possible legal actions regarding Roque's travel documents. Roque was cited for contempt by the committee in September 2024 for refusing to submit documents deemed crucial to the probe on Philippine offshore gaming operators. Paduano, who is the co-chairperson of the Quad Committee, says the DFA and the Bureau of Immigration must be able to explain to the committee as to how Roque was able to exit the country despite Roque being cited for contempt by the House. Paduano, however, stopped short of blaming DFA and the Bureau of Immigration as it is not yet ascertained how Roque left the country. Paduano also says they should know in the next hearing how Roque was able to get to the Netherlands and where he came from before flying there. The Quad Committee released an arrest order which prompted the Philippine National Police to track the former Malacanang official. However, Roque was spotted last March 14 at The Hague in the Netherlands, accompanying Vice President Sara Duterte and Senator Robin Padilla. The three were in the foreign country to assist Duterte's father, former President Rodrigo Duterte, who was recently taken into custody by the International Criminal Court. The former President Duterte was arrested last March 11 as the local authorities assisted the International Criminal Police Organization in enforcing the International Criminal Court arrest order against him. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.